Ever since the launch of the original AirPods a few years ago, it seems that every company I know is releasing its own version of true wireless headphones to compete against Apple's AirPods. This year, I've tested quite a bit, and I narrowed them down to about the top 7 or the more intriguing options that are available. And so in this video, we're gonna go over those sets of true wireless headphones and see which one is worth your hard-earned cash. Before we get started, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications whenever we share a video. So keep in mind, I'm taking a look at each set of these headphones from an iPhone user's perspective. And so I broke it all down into about 4 categories. We have comfort, portability / battery life, sound quality, and then bonus features. The headphones that we feature in this video are the Razer Hammerheads, Soundcore Liberty 2 Pro, the Jabra Elite 75Ts, the Sony WF-1000 XM3, and then Apple's trifecta of headphones that were released this year in the AirPods 2, the Powerbeats Pro, and the newly released AirPods Pro. So comfort being our first category is kind of a tricky one to start off with, but I wanted to kind of get it out of the way because for everyone, this is going to be different because everybody has different ears, and what you determine is comfortable might not be the same thing for me and vice versa. So for me, pretty much every single pair of headphones received an 8 except for the AirPods Pro, which got a 9 for me. I think all of these stemless style headphones sort of fit the same mold, and since they are pretty well lodged inside of my ears, they tend to hurt more over longer durations of use compared to something like AirPods 2 or the Razer Hammerheads, which actually have a stem design, and they don't really get jammed that far into your ears. They are all comfortable and they all fit securely for the most part, but the AirPods Pro with the smaller stem have a little bit of a better fit for me, and so I think that gets the higher score. They do go further in your ear, but they are designed in a way to help alleviate any fatigue that might result with a piece of plastic being jammed inside your ear canal. And I've had just a lot less issues with comfort overall when wearing the AirPods Pro. So I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time on comfort just because, like I said, it's going to be different for everybody. But for me, they were all pretty much the same minus the AirPods Pro. Next up is portability, and what I took into consideration with portability was not only how easy it is to transport these headphones around, but battery life as well. Do you need to travel around with a charging cable? How often do you need to charge them? Most of these headphones are pretty portable already, and they're all trying to be a small footprint, but some of them don't fit inside your pocket as well as you might think. And considering that a lot of these earbuds are small, you don't really want to put them in your pocket without a case. And some of the cases are monstrous compared to others. So for example, the wonderfully named Sony WF-1000 XM3s have not only a gigantic name, but a gigantic case that doesn't fit in the pocket, as well as something like the Jabra Elite 75Ts. And the additional battery life coming from the charging case of the Sonys is actually worse with 24 hours as opposed to Jabra's 28. So you probably guessed who scored the best in this category, and that would be the Jabra Elite 75Ts because they were the smallest and packed some of the better battery life inside of the case. The worst portability went to Sony WF-1000 XM3s because that case is monstrous. And the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pro is also a pretty solid option when it comes to battery, but the case for me is a little bit wonky. I'm not a big fan of the slide out top that it has, and it's kind of hard to correctly get your headphones in without really focusing in on what you're doing. The last 2 categories, sound quality and bonus features, are the most important, so we'll spend a little bit more time on those. At least in my opinion, they're the most important because, well, we want our headphones to sound the best, but we also want to have the best features that you can get with those headphones for the price. I do want to preface this by saying that none of these headphones sound bad in any way. They're just all really solid options, and some sound better than the others. So when I say it doesn't sound as good, it's in comparison to the ones that we're talking about in this video. So if it gets a lower score, don't think that the product is trash or whatever. It's just not as good in comparison to some of the others that we featured in this video. So with that said, the champions of this category are the AirPods Pro and the Sony WF-1000 XM3s. As far as the Sony headphones go, sound quality is extremely good. Out of the box, it has some of the best balance that I've heard aside from the AirPods Pro. You can adjust the sound profile even more inside of the app, which we'll get into more in just a minute. But with some tweaking, you might be able to take these and make them sound better than any other headphones on this list. But for those who want a minimal effort, kind of a plug and play option, the AirPods Pro will rank slightly higher because I really just don't think you need to adjust the EQ at all with these headphones. Personally, they just sound really good right out of the box. On the lower end of the spectrum, we have the Razer Hammerhead and the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros. The Hammerheads, again, do not sound terrible by any means, but it's a little too flat for my liking. While most of the headphones in this roundup tend to lean more bass heavy, which can get obnoxious, the Hammerheads have a very neutral sound profile, but sometimes that lacks in any separation of instruments or just really any punch. But if you're looking for that sort of sound profile, then you'll definitely be happy. So for that reason, it received our lowest score of 6. Now the Soundcore Liberty 2 Pros might be the more frustrating option here because out of the box, they actually sound pretty good. But I think they can sound so much better if I could manually mess with the EQ beyond some presets that the app gives you. Now maybe I've missed this, but I searched the app pretty well and I couldn't find anything of that sort. A lot of the other headphones hovered around the 7 or 8 mark in terms of sound quality, with the AirPods Pro and Sony's getting the only perfect 10s. Speaking of perfect 10, our only headphones to achieve that in our final category of bonus features are the AirPods Pro. And that's because it's the only pair to have excellent active noise cancellation and transparency modes alongside the H1 chip, which makes the experience way better than any other headphones on this list. While there isn't a dedicated app to adjust some of the extra features that you might get, the AirPods Pro do not need a whole lot of adjusting. For example, an EQ might be nice for some people out there to further control your AirPods Pro sound, but it's probably not necessary for most of us who use the AirPods Pro, as they sound nearly perfect out of the box. And for me personally, I don't really need or want to adjust any ANC levels, but I suppose that would also be a nice to have. The Sony WF-1000 XM3s offer up one of the better apps of the group, and it's really easy to customize your sound and change between the extra features or customize the touch controls, but those extra features aren't really anything to write home about. I do think the noise cancellation is as good as AirPods Pro, and I honestly cannot tell the difference between ambient sound modes, whether they're on or off, which is why this section is getting an 8, because for $229, I expected more to go along with the tremendous sound quality for the Sonys. The only place the AirPods Pro suffer in is media playback controls. Now they're a little bit better with the new stem, but you still can't control volume without asking Siri to do so, and that's a little bit frustrating for me. The Powerbeats Pro got a 9 alongside the AirPods 2 because they share the same H1 chip, which is what makes the whole experience really, really good when you're using Apple devices. But since they lack any other additional sound quality features, they won't be quite as good as the AirPods Pro. The Hammerheads, Liberty 2 Pros, and Jabra Elite 75Ts of the world do not come feature-rich whatsoever, but they do come at a lower price point. So if you're not looking for the best of the best, but want something that sounds great, and it just works, then maybe the Liberty 2 Pros or the Jabra Elites might be a better option for you. If you're a gamer and you want Razer's ultra low latency feature, those might be a great option for you as well, especially because they are the cheapest ones on this list at only $99. Overall, it's pretty obvious that in my opinion, the AirPods Pro are the best true wireless options out on the market right now. They sound better, they fit better, and have more useful features available, but of course they will come at a more premium price. But overall, in 2019, my favorite pair would be the AirPods Pro, and something that I would recommend picking up if you're looking to spend $250. So let us know in the comment section down below which headphones you prefer and why, or if there's another option that you felt we might have missed and didn't include, feel free to let us know in the comment section down below too. This has been Dan with Mac Rumors. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you around in the next video.
And my